Channel. It has been a really hot minute. I wanted to do like 20 video streak or whatever, and something always ends up happening. I am gonna do it again, and I'm just gonna keep doing it until I get the 20-day streak, like totally like non-stop. But just things end up happening. The 31st, which is the day before Easter, my mom had we made her a party. She was, you know, turning the 60, and my aunt came down, and we were just so busy trying to prepare for that, I was passing out invitations all week. I was just like trying to do all this, trying to get everything ready, and we were all pitching in. So like the day before the party, I was, you know, trying to meet up with my brother, picking up his part. My dad had to give him his part. My aunt came in at 8, picking her parts. I can go pick up the cake. I had to pick it up Friday instead of Saturday. It was just like a whole bunch of stuff. It came out really well, and Saturday I just really wanted, I was so busy, so I just kind of wanted to, you know, chill with the family. We hadn't really done anything like that in a long time. I think the next big party is probably gonna be my daughter's quince, which is gonna be next year. And it was just like, you know, cousins that you see at the grocery store but don't really like, not like an actual family function. And it was just really nice and get together, and we all dressed up, and you know, some of us wore red, gold, black, and all of that. So it was just, it came out like a really good turnout. My mom had a lot of fun, and she's a huge Twilight fan, so it was so cute to see her reaction when my girls got her a Twilight Edward figure. Each one of them got her a different one, so she was so excited for that. So things like that. And then Addison got really sick Sunday night, so she didn't get to go to school on Monday, and then she didn't go to school on Tuesday. So it's pretty much at home, you know, taking care of her. I took Destiny to school only, and then her dad picked her up just because she had track practices. And then today she had a band competition. So it's just like a bunch of things, but I still wanted to do a video, and I'm very excited and happy that my subscribers kind of went up. And even though I didn't film too much, I'm really thankful and happy for that. But I haven't maybe worn makeup since Sunday, and it's been 2 days. So I kind of like, you know, came to life. So I just kind of wanted to do this video of like the 5 main palettes that I always go back to and use. Sometimes I'm in a hurry and I'm just like, okay, I need to do my eyes real quick, like what am I gonna do? So I'm gonna be doing my top 5 palettes, and then I'm gonna also be doing, not in this video but the next video, my top 5 single eyeshadows, because I do go to single eyeshadows and use those as well. Now these palettes, some of them are actually pretty new. Some of them came out, maybe one of them came out maybe beginning of the year or last year, the end of last year. And they're not in particular order, like this is my number 1 palette, this is my number 2 palette. It's not in particular order like that. These are just palettes that I go and I use constantly. And then 2 out of these palettes are the ones that I pack with when I went on my New Orleans trip with the girls. You know, a bunch of us girlfriends and stuff, we went, and I just packed 2 palettes, which is amazing because usually I pack like 4 palettes when I travel. So I kind of just wanted to not pack too much because, you know, there's a bunch of us girls. So anyway, enough of this ramble, let's get started. So the first palette I want to talk about is the Juvia's Place, the Zulu by Juvia's palette. I love this palette so much. This is my first palette from them, and this is actually my only palette from them. I need to order some more. Again, I've been so behind on purchasing makeup lately. I need to order some makeup palettes that I saw that came out, and I still need to go get them. But this is the one palette that I love. I just love these colors. These colors explain, like, this is just so much describes me. I love color, as you can tell. I'm always using my main like shadows that I always end up using. I pretty much use all of them. I think I use a lot of the yellow, a lot of the teals, the purples. I don't really normally use these 2 that much, but I do use it. I just love this palette. It's just, I'm always going bold, and I just really like it. I'm not too sure how much it is. I know that I did a haul video with this, and I think I got it on sale for maybe $17-18. Yeah, I think so. I think it's for shipping, but I'm not too sure. It's just go on their website. They have so many different ones. If you're more of like a more natural, they do have one that I believe has more of like the natural colors, but I really do love this. I always end up going into this palette, whether it's just for like the main lid or if it's just for the crease area. I either way, I'll just come to this palette, pick up an eyeshadow, and there we go. So that's one of them. The second one is, this is the one I packed with me to New Orleans. This is the Kristen Leanne palette with Urban Decay. I love this palette. I actually love Urban Decay. Urban Decay has really cool colors. I don't want to blind you guys, but this is what the palette looks like. I love this palette. Now I'm gonna have to say that I've used every one of the shadows on here, but if I'm gonna be perfectly honest, the shadow that I don't really mostly go into that much is probably the pink one and the black for some reason. I mean, I have other blacks that I use, but this one I don't really use as much, but I do use it. I just love it. I took it with me to my trip. It's just, they're so like, look at that, like there's just like one swipe, it's just, they're so pigmented, and I love them. I love these colors and I love these shadows, and I do know that they still have it. I don't know for how much longer, because usually when you do a collaboration, they are limited and limited edition, so until they run out, that's it. I know my Sephora still has it. I think I got mine at Ulta. I got mine at Ulta. But yeah, I just love this palette. I believe that one was 50 bucks. But it's so worth it, honestly. I really do love that palette. I had to take this off. So the next palette I want to talk about, this is the third one. This is the Dream Street Kathleenlights combo. Now it is dirty and filthy and ugly because I use this palette a lot. I use palette a lot. Actually the pink that I have in here, as well as the blue that I have in here, is actually the one that I'm using from this palette. I don't know if Colourpop still has this palette. You can probably check. They might still have it. Usually they have the collaboration on there for a good while before they take it off or whatnot. But I just love this. This is the other palette that I took with me on my trip to New Orleans. Now this is the pink that I have on with me, and I believe that is Sweet Dreams, I think. I don't know what way it goes. And then this blue one, I'm already making an indentation on it as well. I use that blue a lot, whether it's just with other palettes. I just always go to this blue. So the blue and the pink are my favorite out of this palette. But the other shades are very pretty. These two are the other two that I use as well. I'm already making an indentation in this one as well. That's more the same color as this, but not that expensive. Again, I don't remember how much it was, but this palette, I love it. It's like small. It's just convenient to put it in there and I travel with it. So it's a really, really good palette. So number 4 is another Urban Decay palette. I love this palette. The only thing I don't like about this is the packaging. Even though it's beautiful, I just think it's a hassle pushing it out, taking it, and doing all of that. But look at these colors. They are so pretty. They're all glittery. I love shimmer, but of course shimmer, some companies cannot make them to where you have to put Fix Plus on it, or they just don't swatch well. This palette is amazing. I'm gonna swatch this blue right here. Look at that. Like, this turquoise one, I mean, there's just this gold one I've been using a lot. I use it for my mom's party. They're just so nice. Like the silver one as well. I mean, this palette is really, really good, and I believe it was in the $50 range. So worth it, to be honest. It's just a really, really good palette. I'm gonna clean my hands because they're just getting everywhere. But I really love that palette. You can, like the Fenty Beauty one, I have that one, and I know that it got bad reviews, and honestly it's not my favorite. I don't go towards that one a lot because that one I feel that they're not like this. That other palette is more like a topper, so it's like more sheer than anything. But this one, oh my god, even Dad, like poor him, he was like, oh no, because this one's like, this is not chalky. This is, I was just like, oh, okay babe, like you are getting to know makeup too well, but which is a good thing. So yeah, he's the one who brought this palette to my attention, and he was like, you need to try this one. Like, he walks around Sephora with me and he's like, oh look at this one, you need to try this one. And yeah, it's a really, really good palette. So I didn't try with it just because I didn't want to break it, because there's so much eyeshadows and pretty ones, and I have traveled before where like one of my palettes is like one shadow is broken, and I didn't really want to risk that with this one, but that is a really good one. And then my last but not least palette that I use a lot into me because of the color range, because I am like very bold, but this is the Morphe 350 palette, I think. And it's this one right here. I use this palette a lot. Sometimes I use a lot of it for my crease area. If I'm not feeling like bold, you know, I go to it. But I love these oranges. These oranges right here are so pretty. I use it all the time, and I believe this palette was about 20 bucks, which you cannot beat that. I got this at Ulta, and it's just a really pretty palette. Now I know this palette describes a lot of people, because I know a lot of people that go to more of the natural shadows, but I still love it. I love all these colors. Again, you can see that I use this one a lot. I also use this one as well, and then my inner corner I have this one. It's a really good palette, and you cannot beat this. And I like the fact that they are like this now. But yeah, those are the 5 top palettes that I use constantly. I'm always going in there just picking it out of my vanity, and I already know I gotta go whatever. If I'm not gonna be too much creative or whatnot, and I already know the shadows that I use constantly, those are the ones that I honestly use. So yeah guys, this is like a short quick video. I hope you guys like this. Don't forget to give a thumbs up if you haven't already. Don't forget to slam the subscribe button, ring that bell to be notified for future videos, and until next time, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.